actually. I didn't remember from that GP top 8, though. I did beat Willie and then lose to McLean.
There's more Magic players now than there are Magic cards, you know?
Sure.
And
it's grown a lot.
To keep track.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam Jansen playing very deliberately. You see him
slowly tapping the planes and island carefully.
But that's good. That means they were available to go on camera when the other matches were done.
Yeah, and everybody has their own style. As long as you're finishing your rounds in time,
yeah.
That's the only thing that really matters.
Shipwreck Singer for Brendan McNamara. One of the cards we talked about, like one of the reasons you want to be blue-black.
I love Shipwreck Singer. I love. Because for me, it's all about, in Limited, it's not just how powerful is the card, but it's how much you have to pay to get that power.
Right.
And it's hard to do things that are that meaningful on the second turn.
And it completely alters the way your opponents play the game for the rest, as long as it's on the board.
Right. You get to put it out on turn 2, which is very little investment, and then on turn 5, it can take over the game. And that's exactly what I'm looking for out of my 2-drop.
Right. Adam Jansen plays Ordeal of Heliod on the Sun God. Attacks for 3. He's going to untap, gain 2 life.
And it's a pretty standard play. Your Ordeals aren't good in the late game, are very good in the early game. If you have an Ordeal, you almost always just auto-run it on your 2-drop. You don't wait.
Adam did not make his 3rd land drop.
Yeah, but Brendan doesn't have any good blocks on the Sun Guide either, so this is going to be,
This is the race to Griptide before even if the Ordeal goes off, blue-black can deal with that,
Yeah, do you think Brendan has a Griptide? I saw like a Lash of the Whip in his hand, I think, but I think that's going to be too slow.
Oh, yeah. No, this is just, one of the two. You need one of the bounce spells.
Right. I'm trying to make out Brendan's hand. I think that's my favorite thing to do sitting back here is like
try to figure out what
they have. Well, normally when you're playing the game, you're trying to figure it out by the plays they make.
Right.
But here it's like we have like a pretty good view, but not perfect.
Yeah.
So,
So he gets in for 4. Brendan's down pretty quickly to 12. That's the 3rd land. Followed up with Wing Sea Rider, Elite Skirmisher.
Looks like he has a Laguna Band Elder.
He loves gaining life.
I like Laguna Band Elder.
I do too.
Oh.
It was kind of one of those cards you played early on. It's kind of like almost like as a filler card, but you realize it just fills an important role. There's not a ton of 3-drops in those white decks that you really want to play after Wingseed Rider.
And 3 life is nice. It's just like a nice little bonus. Since 3 mana 3/2 is perfectly fine, not exciting, but fine.
Yeah. Here's fourth land for Brendan.
Yeah, so
this would be a great time to Griptide. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he
I don't
has
think he
that.
has it either.
I think I saw an Erebos Emissary.
Okay.
And I saw a Lash of the Whip, I'm pretty sure. But I don't think he has anything like Griptide that he can just slam down on it.
No, he doesn't.
Interesting, he left the Harpy back. I guess he wants to double block it. It's pretty risky.
Yeah, I mean, a Divine Verdict is pretty miserable here.
I guess he doesn't really have a choice because with the Ordeal going off, Adam's going to have 30 life.
Right.
So, I mean, Brendan can't race him. So I guess he pretty much has to just go for the double block.
Right.
He does have the option, though, that he could wait a turn or so and have Lash of the Whip available, have Shipwreck Singer's ability available.
But he also missed a land drop. No, he didn't. He didn't miss the land. I'm sorry.
He hasn't.
But that's enough mana away that Shipwreck Singer and Lash of the Whip is.
Oh yeah, I wasn't saying like he was going to provoke it, minus it, and lash it. I was saying that he would have the option to do these tricks. If he waited. I mean, this play is certainly fine if Adam doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
But it's really vulnerable.
But Divine Verdict mana is showing.
Yeah, and Griptide. I mean, it's If Brendan makes a double block and Adam Griptides the Harpy, the Emissary, I'm sorry, then he's going to get to free eat the Harpy.
Well, he can also just block. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I guess that's why he left the Harpy back. Since he's not going to be able to race, I guess he considers trading the 2-1 for a 3-2 just a good trade.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And you never know. Maybe if Adam has nothing, he doesn't attack with the Sun Guide. So maybe you by not attacking with the Harpy there and having the Emissary up, maybe you get to threaten a block, even though you don't actually get to make the block.
I mean, he could have put the Emissary in front and thrown away. I mean, it's not a great deal for him. He could have discarded a card and tried to kill it. But with 4 mana on open,
it's too risky.
It's too risky, yeah.
It's too risky, which is why I didn't even think he would leave it up, because I figured he would rather most likely just block the Emissary on the Band Elder and discard 1 card or something. But I think his play is good. I think I misevaluated the spot because with Adam Jansen at 32, that Harpy is just of no importance.
Okay, Shrike Harpy.
A bigger, better Harpy. That's one of my favorite of the Tribute cards, not because it's the most powerful, but because the decision is always so close. Well, with Siren of the Fang Coast, you pretty much always make it a 4/4, but with a lot of the Tribute guys, like the Snake, you're always just like, yeah, gain 4 life, I'm not going to give you a 7/7. But with this Harpy, do I sack my worst creature, or do I make your flyer a 4/4 flyer? It's actually a very close decision most of the time.
What would you do here?
I mean, it always depends on their hand some, and I haven't seen Adam's hand much at all.
Yeah,
I really have no idea what he's holding.
Frustratingly keeping it very guarded.
Yeah, going on the assumption that he doesn't have really good removal and he's going to have to work through it, I mean, there's not much benefit to sacking Wingsteed Rider.
Or Sun Guide.
Right, or Sun Guide. So, I mean, I would probably not sack anything in general here.
And on cue.
Well, I mean, like I said, we haven't seen Adam's hand.
I mean, if he doesn't have any way to make that Wingsteed Rider bigger at all.
Right. I mean, my reasoning for not is because the Wingsteed Rider has the potential to be more than a 2/2 flyer, and you're giving it +2/+2 to keep your Wingsteed Rider. So, I mean, in a vacuum, it would seem like it makes sense not to sack it. But maybe Adam has specific plans for this turn for a better attack or something like that. Certainly could be the right play to sack the Wingsteed Rider.
Yeah. And by the way, Adam, at 33 right now.
Yeah, his life total is of no concern.
To Brendan's 7.
Yeah. And we're finally getting a pretty good game this round, it looks like, as Brendan had a lot of strong cards, and Adam had the Ordeal go off and, is at 33.
He's just chumping with the Shrike Harpy?
That's interesting. I mean, he's at 7, so I get that he doesn't want to take it.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't want to go to 2.
But, I mean, he could double block.
Are you at the point where you need to think about double blocking? Or?
I mean, you're not racing.
Yeah.
It's a very
At some point, you can't worry about Divine Verdict?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's in Brendan's hand, except for Lash of the Whip. I don't know if he has any creatures to discard.
Wave Crash Triton.
Yeah, but I don't see where this game is going for Brendan if he's chump blocking. It's almost one of those games where you just double block and then shake their hand when they have the trick. You know what I mean?
Well, now he's at the point, though, where he can actually Shipwreck Singer. He can provoke Shipwreck Singer, activate Shipwreck Singer, and block, discard a creature.
Right.
And have his guys survive.
Right, and if Adam doesn't have anything, that's going to be fine. But if Adam has Grip Tide or Divine Verdict, whatever, he's still going to get blown out.
Oh, yeah. That still remains a very sticky
so there's not really
part of this equation.
Yeah, so I don't know that there's much reason to have not made the same play last turn, to have just double blocked and then discarded something or not. But, I mean, maybe it's better because your guy can survive, like you said.
Yeah.
Like this turn, I don't think he can provoke it, but if he just lets it attack and then he blocks it and then he lashes it, his guy does survive.
Right.
So, I mean.
Oh, yeah, Lash is still in his hand.
But the thing is, he's throwing away a 2/2 flyer, giving Adam an extra draw step to find Verdict or Grip Tide or what have you. So, I mean, I don't know,
Right.
It's a close play.
And there's a Wave Crash Titan, which also just
means anything that targets now, can tap down the blockers.
Retraction Helix here is devastating.
No, I mean, no matter how Brendan played this game, he was going to be in a precarious position.
Right. So you block first before Lash of the Whip here, right?
I don't know if it matters. Maybe you Lash first because if it gets countered, you chump with the Singer maybe instead of the Erebos Emissary. It also depends if Brendan has a creature to discard, which I don't know if he does or doesn't. Because I know that virtually any creature you have to discard, you're going to discard that to trade with a 5/5.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a question of really what's in Brendan's hand. I'm assuming Brendan doesn't have land in hand.
Oh, there's your Grip Tide.
Yeah. See, if you block first, then you get the block, which is really valuable. But are you really even in a position to be able to win this game? Maybe. I mean, you untap and draw the Emissary. You put it on the Shipwreck Singer. It really just depends on what's in Brendan's hand. It's a lot harder to analyze when you can't see a hand, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, my favorite is if I can see one player's hand, I try not to look at the others so that I can play the game from that person's perspective, you know? But in this game, I really haven't seen Brendan's hand or Adam's hand, so I really don't know what I would do in these spots, you know?
Right, and the context of your hand changes everything.
Oh, yeah. Just the difference of whether you have a guy to discard or whether you're trying to hit land 7 to turn the game, you know. For all we know, Brendan may have an important Overlord in his hand, and all he wants to do is stay alive at the moment and get that guy going, you know what I mean? Granted,
let's check.
That can be waited out, but you get the point I'm trying to make. He does have an important Overlord. I didn't know that. It still may not be in his hand, but we do have their deck list, and apparently he does have an important Overlord in his list. But yeah, you get the point. Like,
all right, sounds like we're going to get a wave. Oh, no. Just the Traveling Philosopher. And he says go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's respecting the fact that Brendan could discard a creature. Figuring if he
It looks like the 7th land came. Is there an Abhorrent Overlord to go with it?
I still can't see his hand. I can see it looked like a land.
No, he says go.
Why wouldn't you play? It must not have been a land. Why wouldn't you play the land? I don't know.
People are just kind of conditioned to not play out all their lands.
Yeah, when they only have one, they hold it.
Yeah.
But when you're in a spot where you have Shipwreck Singer out,
yeah.
I guess if he feels like he doesn't need it. I can see some blue card in his hand. I don't know what it is. It does look like he has one land in his hand, and I can't tell what that other card is.
Right. Pretty sure it's not an Abhorrent Overlord.
No, most likely not.
All right, Traveling Philosopher has to attack. An interesting.
So this is interesting.
So it's almost like he's double compelling.
Yeah, and going on the assumption that Brendan has nothing in hand that he can cast right now, he should make something else have to attack too. There's no reason to give Adam the option.
Right.
I mean, unless you're sure that you don't want him to attack with it,
right.
And then there's no. But I mean, like, why not provoke the Wave Crash
yeah, I was
too?
Just saying, you might want the Wave Crash Titan to attack too.
But maybe he does have something he can cast. We don't really know.
Right. Because if you can eat the Wave Crash Titan and you can eat both of them.
Right.
This turn.
Right, and that's huge. And then just take the 5 from the Sun Guide, and you've gotten pretty far up board.
Take 4 from the Sun Guide.
4, right?
You did -1 it.
My mistake. It is 4. Yeah, and I mean, unless he has something he can cast, it's certainly a mistake to not do that. But if he does have a Voyage's End or any sort of a trick, wanting to sit on your trick is probably more relevant than eating the Triton. So.
But the Traveling Philosopher dies. Adam sort of indicates maybe that he had like something, but then doesn't play it. Has another Wingsteed Rider.
Yeah, but knowing that he has virtually no ways to target the Wingsteed Rider, the Shipwreck Singer can eat it.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe the Shipwreck Singer can turn this game.
Yeah.
What an incredibly powerful 2-drop.
All right, 4 mana.
What's he up to? Maybe he doesn't even have a land. I don't know. I thought I saw a land.
Yeah, I like that turn a lot better if you eat the wave. The Wave Crash feels like Adam's way out of this mess.
You're definitely
right. Not that
right.
he needs a way out. Not that he's in a big mess. He's got 35 life to play.
Unless Brendan had a trick he was leaving the mana up for, you're definitely right.
Yeah.
If Brendan's hand does not contain some 2 mana instant,
yeah.
he should certainly have provoked the Wave Crash Triton as well.
So these guys will have a little time has been called in this round, but these players will have a little extra time based on they have 2 minutes at beyond feature match area time. Okay, so.
Which could be interesting because this game isn't necessarily ending anytime fast. I mean, it's going to be really tough for Brendan to kill Adam in 2 minutes plus 3 turns, considering Adam's at 35. I don't know if Adam really can kill Brendan in that time or not.
So tap down the Emissary.
Yeah, certainly no provokes on this turn, as Brendan would like to not be attacked, and he needs to give -1/-1 so that his 1/5 can block one of the 5/5 creature and live.
So he would take 2 this turn?
He would take 2, right, and go to 5. I mean, Brendan's played a nice game here with his back to the ropes the whole game.
Yeah.
And Adam had that grip tied.
Oh, yeah.
I have to wonder if he drew it that turn or if maybe he could have used it a little better earlier.
So now land 7 comes down. This isn't an abort. Oh, interesting. A crow and horse, or as Marshall Sutcliffe likes to call it.
Don't you have to pass a crow and horse to your opponent?
Yeah, yeah. As Marshall Sutcliffe likes to call it, Elspeth.
Yeah. I just got real scared for a second. I saw him put the horse and kind of pass, and then he slid it to his opponent. He probably just said something to his opponent, like, okay, here's a horse for you or whatever. But I was just like, whoa, what's going on here? What is it? You said Marshall calls it Elspeth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Team Channel Fireball in our playtesting for Last Pro Tour had nicknames for a lot of the cards. I believe that a Crow and Horse was also called Elspeth. I believe Luis may have had a draft deck that had a Crow and Horse and an Elspeth, and he said he had 2 Elspeths, something of that nature. They had some nice nicknames. I wish I could remember them all, and if they come to me, I'll utter them.
So time has been called at the table.
Okay, so 5 turns?
Adam Jansen has to find 5 damage in 5 turns.
Right.
3 of which he gets.
Right. I mean, yeah, we can pretty safely say Brendan's not going to deal 37 to Adam in the 5 turns. So let's see if Adam can deal 5 to Brendan or not. This is where that deliberate play might come back to haunt Adam because, you know, he does look pretty advantaged in this game.
Right.
But it's just very possible he's not going to be able to close it out in 3. You know, in the 5 turns, you get 3 turns each. Turn 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I like Adam's board. Adam's got 3 spells in hand. At least 2. I don't know what he drew this turn.
All right. Is this a Testing Griffin?
Well, not the most powerful of cards.
No. I mean, it's not always the most powerful card in white green.
Right. Yeah, that guy's a little expensive. Could have maybe made him cost 4. Most of the time, he's just a 3/2 flyer.
Another Shipwreck Singer. Wow, I like Brendan's deck a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Based on the 2 Shipwreck Singers.
Oh, I'm right. I'm right with you. Believe me. I know there are more powerful cards like Abhorrent Overlord, which he also has.
But even if this doesn't end up in a win, just the amount of control Brendan's been able to exert on this game from such a terrible position.
And from such a cheap card, from a 2-mana card. That's why I love the card so much. Like, what I was going to say was I know there's more powerful cards. Like Abhorrent Overlord is a lot more powerful. But you lose a lot of games with the 7-mana card in your hand.
Oh, absolutely.
You can always play your 2-drop, and you can always get its ability to use some value out of it, provoke something to attack. You know, -1/-1 their attackers. And it costs so little mana to do everything with Shipwreck Singer. Whereas the Setesting Griffin might be overcosted, the Shipwreck Singer is undercosted, you know.
It sounds like Brendan may have missed his trigger for a
Crow and
Horse token.
Oh.
Oh, wait, nope. That's the right time to read your opponent's card just before their triggers go on the stack. You're like, oh, let me read that.
Yeah. Seeing whether it's a May, but I guess that doesn't really matter. Because if he missed it, it would be too late to make it now, right?
Well, no, I was saying he picked up the Shipwreck Singer, you know.
Oh. Might want to know what this does.
Adam of anything.
Yeah, it's only been used 3 or 4 times, you know. Maybe I'll check out what it does. Shipwreck Singer's so good. I don't know. Barring surprises here, I've got to imagine this is going to end in a draw.
Yeah.
I mean, there are cards that could maybe end it, like Sea God's Revenge. Can we check if Adam has one of those? If he hits land 6, maybe he's been holding a Sea God's Revenge and can clear the way.
No.
I mean,
so it sounds like this is going to be some sort of little like boon enchantment.
And I mean, even with tapping down a guy, you can see that Brendan has 5 creatures out.
Oh.
Well,
it's a Stratus Walk.
It's pretty good. Still don't really see that killing Brendan in 2 attacks, though. I mean, if he activates a Shipwreck Singer, it's only dealing 2. If he can activate both Shipwreck Singers next turn, it's only 1 damage.
Right.
He can even block it with a Shipwreck Singer next turn, or he could chump it with 1 this turn and then chump it with 1 next turn.
Tapping some more mana.
Adam's going to need to have quite a few things here. He does have a few flyers, so, I mean, if he can keep tapping down the Singers, getting rid of the Singers.
He's going to cast Last Breath. Is he targeting his own Wingsteed Rider?
I think he's targeting a Shipwreck Singer, which gives Brendan some life but removes one of the flyers.
Right.
Maybe it's going to be close.
Some precarious math.
Yeah, between killing a Shipwreck Singer, targeting the Wave Crash.
Well, and he gets to send everything in here.
Right, and making another flyer. This gets tight. I don't think the ground matters at all. Like I don't.
No, especially not at 39.
No. The Sun Guide maybe, you know, can eat the 1/1 soldier token, but another one's going to be there to block it next turn anyway. I think the ground is pretty irrelevant at this point. It's going to come down to whether Adam can deal the 9 in the air in 2 attacks.
So the Coastline Chimera is not untapping.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's not that much damage because the Shipwreck Singer giving everything -1/-1 means it's 2, 3, 4, 5 damage this turn.
Right.
And the next turn you have the ability to block with the Singer and -1/-1 again. So, I mean, assuming that things go that way. In fact, the Singer can even block and then -1/-1, so he can actually eat the Wingsteed Rider this turn, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's really not 9 damage unless Adam has some more help next turn. Is Brendan not using his Shipwreck Singer?
Well, he killed the...
Oh, he killed the one that wasn't summoned, so he
yeah.
can't use it. Oh, wow, I missed that completely.
So the Shipwreck Singer just...
And that's the difference.
It just suicided there.
Wow, and he couldn't have used it because it wasn't in combat yet. So that's the difference in this game. Now he's dead if he doesn't find an answer. I missed that completely.
Wow, Adam Jansen, nice job finding his way out.
Man, I apologize, people at home. I thought that Shipwreck Singer was going to be -1/-1ing things, which makes it a completely different game. I completely missed that.
Yeah, because you can't use the Shipwreck Singer's ability. It only affects creatures that are attacking at that moment.
Right. No, I get it now, but he killed the one that was active.